Okay, I think we're on. I don't know who all is there. Hi there, everybody. Okay. Put a mask to give yourself a fun look. Okay, I don't know what this is. This is all new to me. Okay, so welcome. I just wanted you to know I'm sitting in my office, and I actually do have a real live audience. Jackie is sitting with me, Jackie Freeman. Some of you know Pat Bartlow. It's her daughter. And a lot of you know Gwen Beckham, and Jackie is on Gwen's team. So anyways, I invited her because she and one other person I know in all of America are not on Facebook. So I thought I would talk to a real audience and then be able to tape this. So you might hear her. And so you can say hi, Jackie.
Hi, everyone.
Okay. So we're going to get started. I have little notes on my computer, so let me glance over here. But I titled this, So You Think You Want to Do the Business Side of doTERRA. So as you know, the whole invite was for those of you who you say, I would like to earn some money. I would like to do doTERRA. I love it. I want to share it. But where do I start and how do I do it? So how I've been advertising this is today is just a preview. And I know when I took college classes, they'd say this is a survey. So I'm going to give you just an overview for like 30 minutes here of why we're doing this, who should participate. So why? If you're already a leader with me, you know that I've been asking over and over, why do you want to do this? And what is your why? Why? Okay, so why is that important? The reason I think it matters is because you will have struggles. I have struggles. We all struggle. Or you think you're in over your head, or you can't do this, or it's a bad day, or you feel like a failure. You feel like you're over your head, or you're on overload. I mean, we have a lot of moms in doTERRA that are busy. A lot of people who still are working their other jobs. So it's super important to know why you want to do this. You know, what is your why? So I'm going to start by explaining my why. Some of you, I've only ever shared this story one time, so a few of you might have heard it, but most of you have not. So my why is I've always dreamed of doing a business where I feel good about what I'm doing, and I want something that's bigger than me. You know, this isn't important to everybody. A lot of people are perfectly happy, and there's nothing wrong with this, just doing a job and getting paid by the hour and getting a paycheck, and there's nothing wrong with that. But for me, I wanted to do something that's bigger than me. I wanted to do something that I felt really good about. I wanted to do something where I feel like I was helping people. And I always thought that I was going to be in full-time ministry, and some of you know I was going to school for that, but I realized I didn't want to work full-time at a church. So anyways, I love encouraging people and empowering people. I wanted to be my own boss and choose my own hours. That was really appealing to me. And to be honest with you, I was really jealous of people who had these fabulous jobs, picked their own hours, were their own boss, and got paid for it. And I kind of thought that wasn't really real, that that was just for some people. I didn't know that was really possible, but I did always dream of that. So for me, doTERRA just kind of happened, and a lot of you know that Lane and Becky introduced me to doTERRA and gave me the little intro kit for my birthday, and that was in December. And then in February was when I went to my first class, and I really liked the product, and I kind of was open to it for sure, but I just wanted the discount. That's all I wanted, is I wanted the discount. I'm a bargain hunter, always have been. So I absolutely positively was not doing the business, and they understood that. I was just being honest since they were my friends. And then what happened is I just started using it and liking it, and like most of you know, well, I'd say all of you know that are actually watching me, that you couldn't help yourself but sharing about doTERRA because you liked the results. And so I just started telling people, and next thing you know, sorry, someone's telling me they're missing the link. Next thing you know, I was sharing with people. So I hosted my first class, and I did not teach it. Lane came and taught it for me, which is perfectly normal for a lot of you that are watching. You're not going to teach your first class. Me or whoever your leader is will come and teach it for you. That's perfectly normal. So when she came and taught it, I saw the light bulb go on. I saw the excitement of a lot of people and saw that they were really interested in natural health. And I call that empowering, but they were interested in how they could take care of their own needs. And so anyways, to be honest with you, it seemed kind of easy. Like, wow, I guess I could make a little bit of money doing this. Still wasn't really doing it as a business, but thought, wow, cool, if I could share enough to get my oils for free. So that's kind of the Reader's Digest version. So then, fast forward to a year later, which was 2 years ago, the church we were going to, Journey Community Church, was doing this building campaign. They've never been in a campaign, and they ended up buying the property that they were on 9 years prior, but by now it needed a lot of work, it needed a lot of safety things, it needed to put in an elevator just so kids could get up to their class. I mean, just basic things, but what it amounted to was like $3 million. And that's a lot of money, and especially for Journey, a very average church. And then they even put me and Keith in charge of the campaign. So wow, that was overwhelming. So then you get to the part where you pray about your part. Well, by then with doTERRA, it was just barely, I had been making the power of 3. I had, the 3 people under me, and we'll talk about that in a second if you don't really get that. But the power of 3, and I was making my 50 pretty consistently. So I just, for the first time, had got my $250 bonus. And so Keith and I were praying about what we could give, and we had already stretched, which was a major stretch. And then I just had a little, whatever you want to call it, a God moment or an epiphany that we could give more. And it was kind of a large number, and Keith was saying, but I told him that I could tell that it was going to be through my doTERRA bonus. And so I had got the concept of building a pipeline, and just really quick on the pipeline, if you've never heard this analogy, they were in this town, and this guy's hauling buckets. And that was a lot of work, all this hauling buckets of water. And finally, the guy says to himself, well, what if I built a pipeline? Then I don't have to haul buckets anymore. The water would already be there. But just like us, who still have businesses, still have a life, still have a lot going on, this guy still had to haul buckets, because just because he wanted a pipeline didn't mean it was instantly done or built. So what he did is he kept hauling buckets, but during that time he spent his like maybe a couple hours a day or whatever, his off time, his spare time, and he built a pipeline. Well, guess what? Next thing you know, he didn't have to haul buckets anymore. So I got that concept, and that made sense to me, and I started sharing that with a few people that are interested in the building side of doTERRA. So back to my bonus, I thought, okay, Journey needs this money, and I don't want this to sound like a brag thing. It was that we already financially were doing okay, so I myself, at that time, wasn't doing doTERRA because I had an urgent financial need. So I said, why don't I take my money that I'm making from doTERRA while I'm building my pipeline and give it all to Journey? And I'm thinking, it takes about 4 years, they say, 4 years to earn for 40, and I liked that concept. Would I work 4 years to earn for 40? That made sense. And I thought, okay, I've already been doing this about 2 years, so if I gave all my money I make to doTERRA while I'm building, I'm going to build all this residual income, but I can give the money to Journey. So all that to say, it was the largest amount I ever thought we could give, and it was a 2-year commitment. And lo and behold, it was due June of 2017, this month. And in May, last month, I was so happy. I was like a little kid, all excited, because I got to walk in with our payoff and pay off our 2-year commitment at Journey. So that was like, it was really awesome, bigger than we could do. It was a total God moment. But unless any of you are thinking I'm a saint and I'm such an angel, I'm not. I'm human just like you. So when I got my very first check, about that time, the girls and I went to Vegas, and we were shopping down below Caesars, and I went to this cowboy store, and some of you might know I love cowboy boots, but some of you might or might not know about Old Gringo. It's kind of an expensive brand. I have a couple, but anyways, I go into the store, and they have these, aren't these beautiful? Woo-hoo. These Swarovski crystal cowboy boots. I was able to buy both of them, the whole pair. Anyways, most expensive pair of shoes I've ever bought in my life. And the reason I'm sharing this is because I think this is how God works in the God economy too. I got not only my 250 bonus that I promised to Journey I'd give, I started earning, and I have earned now for like 2 years, the 1,500 Power of 3 bonus. So I was able to buy my boots, and to me that's like the first dollar you hang on the wall and you say, this is the first dollar you ever earned. I was able to give this huge commitment to Journey that I never dreamed we'd do, and I bought me the most expensive boots I ever would dream I could buy. So that was just my huge moment. I think that's how God works too. In the God economy, you get blessed and you get to bless others. And so that is my why. So to follow up with that, 2 years later, I told you we paid off Journey. I'm still building my pipeline, and it's building well. And so I'm pretty successfully for the last 2 years getting my $1,500 Power of 3 bonus. I got my W-2 this year, and I almost fell over because it was $50,000 that I made with doTERRA, and that's just the part that doTERRA showed. You know, I had some extra little money coming in, but so that was pretty awesome. And starting January 1st, I am no longer on the payroll with our real business, New Horizon Distributing. So that's super cool. Those are our things. So my why, to be clear, is a purpose bigger than me, where I can help people. I love encouraging and empowering people. That's always been I used to always do one-on-one discipleship. I love doing that. But with this, I love hearing their healing stories. It's been absolutely amazing. I love being my own boss and choose my own hours. And with that, I'd say I have a few people on my team. If you're listening, you know who you are. But the number one common denominator is they had something for themselves. So I work with my husband. I have a couple friends on my team that work with their husbands, not for their husbands. And they love having something just for them. And it's been really fun to create a business where we're in charge and it's just us. And yes, our husbands encourage and help us, but it's our business and we get to create it the way we want. That's been an absolute blessing. I want to see and help as many people as possible become financially free. And that's been my biggest joy. And it's actually sometimes frustrating when I want people to know that it's so possible. And I think that's been true with people who know me. They know how I've never done an MLM. I've never done direct sales. I don't like sales. I don't like any of that. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. And I really believe that. And on a side note, I was just telling Jackie before we went on, I know some of you are scared to death to teach a class. Well, I just want to be honest with you that I'm scared to death to be this far from my iPad talking to a screen. So we all do things out of our comfort zone, and I just never knew I could do it. And there's been a lot of I never knew I could do it, and each moment I've been blessed out of my socks for doing it. So anyways, a purpose bigger than me where I can help people. I love encouraging and empowering people and hearing their healing stories. I love helping as many people as possible see financial freedom. To get paid for doing something I love, back to remember my goal was, can I actually get paid for doing something I'd love to do? Wow, go figure. And then to have financial freedom, to give, to spend, to go on vacations, to save, and to allow my husband to relax. And that's a really big deal. And on that, I'm not going to expand a lot, but I just want to remind any of you that are listening that think maybe it doesn't sound godly to get something for yourself, or maybe it sounds materialistic to buy stuff and to go on vacations. Well, you're talking to me who thinks that's hogwash. I think we serve a God who loves and delights in letting us succeed. And the fact that we keep our eyes on him and can give to big things while shopping and vacationing and enjoying good restaurants, I just say, yay, God. So that's just me. That's just who I am. Jackie's giggling, but anyways, so I want you to think, what do you want? And I'm going to look really at you right now. What do you really want? Because what I mean is sometimes it's easy to say, I want this, or I go, I'd love to have financial freedom, or I would love to be rich, but that's too generic. I want to know, what does that look like? Like, to some people, it's a car payment. To some people, it's paying rent. Like, to my daughter, Carrie, moved to Denver, and she's really scared, started all over. And all she wanted right now, she wants the whole Big Daddy, but right now her short-term goal is, I want to make enough to pay my rent every month. And she has been doing that, and that's what doTERRA's done for her. So for some of you, you're like, well, I'd like to start off with a new car. I would like a car payment. So you might want a car payment. Or some of you that's a busy mom, you might want enough money just so that you can hire a babysitter and go on date night once a week. So we all have different things we want. But I want you to be able to, like, really seriously, after we get off this feed, for you the next couple days to think about, what do you want? And if you got that, what would it look like? Like, having that financial freedom. If you had freedom not to go to the job that you currently go to, or if you had, like I said, freedom that you could go on a date without worrying about, do you have money for a babysitter? Or do you need a new car and you need a car payment? I don't know. It's all different things. And like for me, it was the blessing, absolute blessing, to be able to help our church. That was so awesome. So we all have different things we want money for. And so I think you need to focus on what you can do with it, and that it's really good and okay to be able to spend it too. So I think for me, have financial freedom to give, to spend, to vacation, to save. And my big one's for my husband to relax. I mean, I want him to be able to retire, and I never ever knew this was coming. And now to think that I'm doing doTERRA at the same time he's on his last, 4 or 5 years of working, and there it goes back to that. I'm building the pipeline now. He's going to retire, and we're still going to have residual income. So that's what we're talking about today, residual income. Just really, really quick, because most of you know this, but there's really 6 ways to get paid with doTERRA, but 2 of them are bonus pools, so I'm only going to really highlight 4. But of course, the first one's just your retail earnings. To be honest with you, I've never sold anything retail, but and I'll tell you why that is. Because I've always just shared with friends, and then friends of friends, and then friends of that. I truly, at the bottom of my heart, believe the very best deal is, and convenience, is to have your own account. So why would I have you buy retail? So because I guess I believe that to my core, it's not a sales pitch. It's a belief that that's the best for them. And so that's when it becomes like really warm customer service. So anyways, that's why I don't sell retail. But if I sold retail, or if somebody went on my my website and bought, then doTERRA would send me a check for 25%. So that's the first way to earn, is retail. And then the second way is power of 3. And with doTERRA, everything having to do with earning, we're going to call it a qualifying order. A qualifying order means $100 order. So I have to spend $100 every month to be qualified, and that's to earn any kind of commission, whether it's 50 cents or 50,000. I need to spend $100 every month. And then when 3 people under me spend $100 a month, and when I have 600 team volume, those 2 things happen, I get a $50 check. And then it's just duplication. When those 3 people under me each have 3, that's where the $250 check comes from. And then when those 3 each do it, 3, 3, 3, then you get a $1,500 bonus check. So that's only the second way you get paid. And then there's the unilevel, which is, the first level gets 2%, and it goes all the way down. You get paid 7 levels down, and then it goes like 2, 3, 5, 5, 7, 7. That's where the big money comes in. And if you're in the very, very beginning stage and you're getting like not very much money, and you're thinking, what? Believe me, it's truly, that's where the big money is. Even though the power of 3 bonus is awesome, I've enjoyed it as well, that's not where the big money is. The big money is in the unilevel. That's your residual income. That's your forever. So when you help people love doTERRA, and when you help them find 3 to 5 products that they just can't do without, that's where you're getting residual income, and that's where it becomes just really nice. So that was 3. I already forgot the 4th way. So anyways, retail, power of 3, unilevel. Oh, I can't even think. Someone's going to write it down there. Anyways, but then there's the bonus pools. So it's a lot of great ways to get paid. It's pretty awesome. So I want to talk about feeling inept, because some of you are just saying, yeah, but I can't do that. And I also want to remind you, most of you know I just went to Prague. I learned from Elise Sedevi. She's the highest person in doTERRA, triple blue diamond. And she's amazing, but she's practical. And everything she taught us was really like, it's doable. So that's what I'm going to be helping you guys with. But one thing she said is be teaching classes at a 5th grade level, and that they should be really simple. And that really rings true with me. And so I'm going to be reminding you about that throughout our training, how that we need to keep it simple. And even when we're tempted, and this would apply to me, that you've learned a lot and you're so excited and you're tempted to impart your wisdom, actually, then someone out there in the audience, Jackie, or anybody is saying, oh, I could never stand up and do that. I don't know that much. So that shows you it's better to actually be basic. Because basic, someone says, I could do what she's doing. I could do that. So going back to my very first, we're talking about getting equipped and mentored. And I remember the very first time Lane Adams came over and sat at my kitchen table, and she brought me a little packet that would be for builders, like we're calling you builders now, people interested in earning, and I had the whole circles, and it went so over my head. But she's like, well, here, this first circle's you, and then here's your 3 people, and we put names on them. Uh-oh, someone's trying to find me. Anyways, they'll just have to see the recording. Anyways, I just remember that kind of going over my head, but I just remember her telling me, and I tell people this now, you'll get it when it applies to you. And so I'm really going to say that's true. And you have people in your life. Any one of you that's watching, you're either on my team or Gwen or Jolie's or Gail's or Lane's or somebody's. And so you have help, and we love nothing more than to help. So I wanted to say that. And also, I remember it's super important to go to trainings. Like, Lane and Becky do stuff all the time, but we're constantly posting and inviting you to not even the convention. That's once a year. We hope that you all would go to that sometime. It's amazing. But there's a lot of local corporate events. And I remember my very first one I ever went to in Carlsbad, and they had this one time where it was the diamond panel, and they had 12 different diamonds getting up. And the reason that was good, because there was 12 different personalities. And I think of how a lot of you know me, or Jolie, or Gwen, or Lane, or Becky, and we're all different. And so what I'm saying about that is you're different too. Be you, because your friends are there for you. So be who you are, because everyone's attracted to who you are, and you're believable because of who you are. So don't try to be Lane or Jolie or me. Try to be who you are, because that's who they already know and like. And so back to the training in Carlsbad, this one lady got up, and she was all giggly, and she seemed kind of airy, to be honest, but she was fun, but she seemed really, really giggly, and she talked about the lifelong vitality, the vitamin 3-pack, and she goes, I just tell people, I don't know what it do, but all I can say is it works. And we laughed at that, because wow, but truly, that's how we are with everything. And that's how I am sometimes. I can't say the medical things as well as like Gwen can, or Lane, or like Jennifer, my sponsor. She's really into the medical field, and she can say more medical terms, but I can say what worked for me. And so that's what people like, and that's what people believe. And so that's what you have to do, is just be you. So that's really encouraging. And so I just wanted to encourage you. So I remember when I heard her, that was just funny, and then heard all the other different personalities. So if you want to share the power of what I believe to be the best quality, most effective, and affordable healthcare there is, then doTERRA is for you. And you can share about it. And I really do mean you, whoever you are. Because like I said, I want it to be you. I want it to be your own personality, your own bent on things, and your own testimony. So if you want to start or grow your existing doTERRA business, there's a lot of people on here that are brand spanking new, which was my motivation to do this. They want to earn some money. They want to do the business side, and they're like, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know about creating lists of people. Who should I invite? And then how do I teach a class? And, so I want to take all the guesswork out of that. And so at the end of this, I'll let you know what we'll be covering. But I also had posted it already. But so I want you to think about, again, I want you, before we meet again, to really think about your why, and what do you want, and why that's important. And I want you to think about financial freedom. I really want you to ponder on what financial freedom looks like for you. And I want you to dream about it. And I really do mean, close your eyes and just think about it. Gosh, if I had what I said I just wanted, what would it look like? And what kind of freedom would it give me? And what would it allow me to do? So think about that. So if you want to start or grow your existing doTERRA business, then you'll want to attend what I'm calling my Emerging Leader Training. And we're going to do it live here. And originally I was going to do it once a week, and it would take way, way too long, because I want to get started. I'm anxious to get started. I'm anxious for you guys to get started. So now that we know, and I'm all new to this, and now that I'm learning that once I post this, it will stay on until I delete it. So that gives us a lot of freedom. You don't have to be sitting here right now. You can come back and watch it. So for that reason, I'm going to start July 1st with the training. And there's a reason I'm giving you time in between, and you'll find that out in a minute. So again, if you want to start to grow your existing doTERRA business, or if you want to start all together for the first time ever, then you will want to attend the Emerging Leader Training. And I'm calling that, what you're going to learn is model, mentor, motivate, and multiply. I always taught that with discipleship. It's the exact same thing. Model, we're going to model it for you. I'm going to show you what to do. We're going to mentor you and help you. No one's going to leave you hanging. We're going to motivate you and cheer you on and be your biggest cheerleader. And then you're going to multiply. So if you want to talk about that, AKA in doTERRA terms, we'd say you're going to share, learn, and grow. And what does that equal? Duplication. And that's why we keep trying to do these things, is because if I teach you and help you do a class, or any of your whoever your leaders helps you do the class, then you get good at doing that. You turn around and you teach to someone to do a class. It's very doable, very, very doable to do that. So I have a couple little reminders, little hopefully motivations for you. I love John Maxwell. I love all his leadership stuff, but I have two things that two growth comments that he quoted. And one is actually from Paul Harvey. And he says, growth is not automatic. And I always said that. I used to always say that, even in a spiritual way. you can't just say, oh, I'm going to watch Sherry's Facebook thing and yay, I'm going to get smarter, I want to grow. No, you have to actually do something about it too. So just, a little reminder, growth is not automatic. Paul Harvey said it best when he said, you can tell you're on the road to success. It's uphill all the way. Wow, that sounds almost discouraging, right? But it's not. He says, you can tell you're on the road to success because it's uphill all the way. You can't coast uphill. Just think about that on a bike. I thought about it. You're at the top. Yeah, you can coast down. You can't coast uphill. Growth doesn't happen by itself. It requires an active investment of time. So what we're going to be doing over the next few weeks, I'm going to give you specific tools. Do this, and then we're going to do this. So it'll be very doable, very, very easy. We all can do it, I promise. There's things I'm still learning. I learned a lot in Prague that I'm going to be putting into practice. And note with that, when Becky and Lane started, then they so quickly shared with us. Some of us were in the beginning stages right alongside them. So we had to learn together. Now you get the benefit of from our mistakes. So some of the people we placed in the wrong places because we didn't really understand placement. Now we get to help you with that. So I'm really excited to do it from the front end, and hopefully we know a lot more now so that we can help you not make the same mistakes we made, because it does kind of cause heartache when you place people wrong. And so that's why I'm all about, I want to do it the right way, or the better way, the more effective way. So anyways, growth is not automatic. You can tell you're on the road to success when you're going uphill. How many of you feel like you're pushing uphill right now? I get it. I feel like that all the time. Lane hears me. I whine to her. She's my whine to person. And we drink wine together because I need it after this. So I guess she's my wine to and wine person. Side note. Anyways, the other one is growth is I want you to ponder this. Growth is the great separator between those who succeed and those who do not. It is the capacity to develop and improve their skills that distinguishes leaders from followers. So I thought that was really, really good. So I want you to think on those two things. So I know I'm driving this in, but you can tell you're on the road to success. It's uphill all the way. You can't coast uphill. So ponder that, and just ponder the thing. Growth is the greatest separator between those who succeed and those who do not. It is the capacity to develop and improve their skills that distinguishes leaders from followers. So, what's next? What's next for us? Why am I doing this? I'm also going to be doing this in summer, what I'm calling relaunch my business. So some of you, you're going to be right along with me relaunching your business. And some of you, this is the first time ever you're launching your business. So we're going to be in this together. So your homework is, I want you, and you have 10 days to do this. We're going to start July 1st, so I'm giving you plenty of time. I want you to create a name list of 100 names, and I don't want you to think too much about it. I just want you to think of names. So it can be friends, relatives, workmates, classmates, church friends, your nail lady, your hair lady. Just think of 100 acquaintances, and you probably sometimes think, oh, I don't think I know 100 people. I'm sure you do. You look on your Facebook page, you have over 500 friends. So just start naming 100 people. Then put that down, come back to it at another time, and I want you to rate those people between 1 and 4. And I want you to think 1 is, I don't even know how interested they are in oils, to 4 being, I know they're really interested in natural things, they're a healthy person, they believe in holistic stuff or natural stuff, or they like to take care of themselves, or they're disappointed with the current healthcare system, that kind of thing. That would be a number 4. So we rate them between 1 and 4. And then we'll come back. Don't worry about what we're doing with it. Just do that. That's your only homework. I'm going to tell you on our very first week on July 1st what to do. So again, you're just creating your names list. So we're going to have training July 1st through 7th. We will not have training on Sunday. We will not have training on July 4th. And July 1st is a Saturday, so I'm going to be going live 10 a.m. Pacific time, 11 a.m. Mountain time on Saturday. But again, it will be posted, so if you miss it, you can come back and watch it. So the first one will be 10 a.m. Saturday Pacific time. And then Monday the 3rd and Wednesday and Thursday the 5th and 6th, I'm going to be 7 p.m. just like we're doing it now, 7 p.m. Pacific time and 8 p.m. Mountain time. And then Friday the 7th will be the very last post. I'll do it at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So we'll have 1 week where I'll be walking you through all the principles I posted, and I'll post my notes after this goes live, or after I post this, however you call it. But we're going to talk about sampling before a class. Okay, so those of you who have already been on my team, this is new to all of us. This is even new to me. And when I learned it from Elise, I'm like, OMG, how come I didn't know about this? This makes so much sense. So I'm just going to kind of tease you with it right now. I'm not going to tell you the exact steps how to do it. But the bottom line is you're sampling people before, and it's not even what you think. You're not even handing them the whole 3-pack of doTERRA. You're specifically sampling them with one thing, and it's very personal. It'd be like me calling up Jackie and saying, hey, Jackie, I remember you telling me you had a headache. I would like to drop off a sample for you to try. And then I'm going to say, are you home tomorrow? Can I drop it off? I'm going to make that contact with her, and I'm going to drop off not 3, but one oil to try. Then I'm going to tell her that I'm going to follow up with her in 2 days. And then in 2 days, I'm going to follow up with her. I'm going to give you all the details of that later. But it's kind of a brilliant way. Bottom line, when you're doing it this way, you're not even inviting people to classes, cold calling like we did before. Cold calling meaning we weren't really cold calling, but meaning they had never even heard about oils, and we always invite them to their first intro class. The way Elise does it with total success, I might add, she's already sampled people. So she only has the positive people who loved and enjoyed the oils come to that first class. So what she's saying is by the time she gets them to their first intro class, they're basically there just to sign up. So we're going to be learning about how to sample before a class. And then we're going to talk about the basics of hosting a class. Seriously, I'm going to, on our time together, I'm going to walk through the class in the box. So I don't care who you are, and if you've never stood up in front of anybody, it won't matter, because if we can read, we can teach a class. If we can hit a video on the TV, we can teach a class. If we can hand out outlines and say, hey, Jackie, will you read the first one? Hey, Sherry, will you read the second paragraph? We can teach a class. So it's going to be easy breezy. I think so many of us don't realize how awesome class in the box is. So we're going to be doing the class in the box. And then we're going to talk about the basics of hosting a class, and then follow up after a class, and then the actual wellness consult, which I'm going to be honest with you, I used to do them pretty well. And since I've been here in Idaho, I've really dropped the ball in this area. So I'm going to be stepping it up and doing wellness consults. Those are key to helping people. Those are key to following up with them, giving them good customer service. And it's key to getting them on LRP, which is what we all want. So it's a win-win-win for everybody. You're giving the best service, you're helping them with their needs, and you're getting them on LRP. And then we're going to talk about LRP, because some of us, and I know I've harped on this before, I believe that some of us just aren't that comfortable explaining LRP, and my belief is because you don't understand it. Because if you understood that it was the best, convenient, best deal out there, and cheapest way to buy your oils, you would explain it better, not knowing it's not a sales pitch. So we're going to talk about LRP, and then we're going to talk about, which is also new to me, continuing education classes. Yes, I've done a lot of variety of classes, but I'm going to make them a lot more specific and call them continuing education. And it's going to be 8 assorted classes that I just repeat over and over, and I'm going to talk to you about that. And then we're also going to do 4 business classes, and so it will always be a continuing. There'll be 8 classes people can roll through and watch, or come to in person, hopefully, and then business classes. So this will be new to you and to me. And so I just want to remind you, our whole goal is to model, mentor, motivate, and multiply, which is growing, which is, duplicating. And then I'm going to end with our very last thing will be 6 weeks to elite. So you might have heard of this, and it's a practice where we do the exact steps, and I'm going to walk you through how we can become elite in 6 weeks. So what's the big deal about elite? Hopefully you all know this answer. Do you know this answer, Jackie? The reason you want to be elite is because it takes 3 elites to make a silver. So elite is all of our goals is to get all of our people to elite, because 3 elites make a silver, and silver is when you start making a lot better money. Silver is when you start getting your first bonus pool. So, a lot of people, that's like your very first goal. So 3 elites make a silver. So we're going to learn 6 weeks to elite. Now Lane is also going to be coming up doing a class, 90 days to elite. The point with that is you're going to learn the steps from me, whether you choose because of your time frame to do it in 6 weeks or in 90 days, you will have the tools to get your people to elite, or get yourself, if you're not there, to elite. So it's all doable. We can all do it. And then, of course, if you're on my team, which if you're watching this, you are on my team, you're always welcome to any of the trainings that Becky and Lane do. So very doable. Just wanted to end with, let's see. I can't wait to tell you all the things I learned from Elise Sedevi, which She is the top highest person in doTERRA. She's a triple blue diamond, so she makes millions, plural. So she's doing quite well. And I'm so excited to pass that on with you. So it's time. I've said it before. Let's do this. We can do it. I can do it. You can do it. And if I can sit in front of an iPad and talk to you, you can sit in front of a couple people. And just remember too, a class can be 2 people sitting at your counter having coffee. A class doesn't have to be like what you're thinking, standing up at a podium or anything. And actually, it's best not to be. So anyways, I hope this motivates you. I hope you're excited. So remember your whole homework that you have 10 days for, come up with your why, but I want more than your why. And you don't have to share it, so you can be really honest with yourself. I want you to think about, close your eyes and dream about, if I got that, what would it look like? What do I want? What would it look like? How would my life change if I got it? So think about your why, and then start creating your 100 list of people. After you're done creating it, take a rest, and then rate them 1 to 4, 1 being maybe not be interested at all, 4 being, this might be a really good prospect. Okay? Thanks a lot. Say bye to Jackie as well.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, guys. Thanks.